Today I want to talk about grading, dynamic grading, which is a new feature in our MINT system. Our curriculum designer until now has only worked with scheduling relevant data. That means how long is the sim session, how long is the briefing session, what is the minimum qualification requirement for the instructor, what is the capacity of the classroom, all scheduling relevant data. However, now there's an important other group of objects, the grading items, which can also be assigned to events. For example, perform takeoff, perform holding, or many more. These grading items, which actually are record items in our system, can be assigned to the events, and they don't matter for the scheduling piece. They become important when it comes to this teaching situation. We have here our examiner, our instructor, with our two pilots, and this instructor now is presented with these items, with these grading items, to grade our pilots. And how this can be set up in the MINT system is what I want to show you now. Okay, let's first create the grade sheet on our forms page for the A320 simulator. Click on Add and call this one A320 simulator grade sheet and make it published, and it is published since, let's say, 1st of March 2017. The big difference between a dynamic grade sheet and the other grade sheets is that there is no need for a dynamic grade sheet to add record items here. The record items will later be linked, and they come from the product or project. You will see that later. So we go to our design page, and we have here our iterator that iterates over all our students. So for every student, this section will be drawn. Outside this iterator, we have our header, and we call it A320 simulator grade sheet. We make it a little bit nicer, the font, so let's say 20, like this. In here, we want to see our student name and first name. So we go and say text data source. It is the linked data, sign of 4, of course, and we first take the name. And then we have another, make this a little bit bigger, and another label for the first name. Data source, first name. So in here again, for every student, this is displayed. Now for the dynamic grade sheets, we need another iterator, and this iterator will iterate over the event record items. So the system looks into the event of the product, and if there are record items assigned to the event, it will link these record items later into this section. So for whatever you put in here will be displayed for every record item. Let's see how that works. Outside this, I will put a table. You will see in a minute why I do this, with just one row like this, and we need five cells. So let's put a label in here and make this label shown in the center and a little bit bigger. And then we copy this, copy, paste, paste. This is the 1, this is the 2, this is a 3, This is the 4, and this is a 5. This is, be careful, this is outside this iterator. Now in the iterator, I want to have a label that shows the name of the record item, of the grading item, of the measured item. Okay, so for this one, we have to link dynamic data, the data source, and in this case, we have to say we refer to the current record item, because here at the moment, the system doesn't know which record item is it. So we have this entity called current record item, and that is what we use, so name. This is to display the name of the record item. And now we take another table here. Like this one. And in this table, we put the radio buttons. Radio button 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we have a 5-scale grade scale, and we will remove the text like this. We make the font as well, not the font, the text will be centered, and the radio button, the size will be large, like this. Now we have to also link the data source for this dynamic record item. This down here. And here we go and say it is not the record item master, it's not the record item, it's not linked data, it's record item assignment for our current record item. Right? Record item assignment, current record item. And in this case, we take the AQP grade scale. We see this warning now because the item is missing. Two, 3, 4, and 5. 5 scale. Now let's move it a little bit higher like this and resize this. Now we are done. This is our first very simple grade sheet. Maybe I will shrink this a little bit as well. Okay. Click on OK. That is our very simple grade sheet. Now we go to the products page to add now these record items and the grade sheet to our simulator session. We double click here. And now we have to take our grade sheet. This is this one. And of course, this is nothing new. We say that the flight instructor grades the captain and the first officer. But now in addition, we take our objectives. For example, perform takeoff, perform holding, landing. These are now our measured items that we want to show on this form. Now, in order to get that, we have to click Appear on Form for all our items, like this. Now these items will be shown on this grade sheet. And they will be shown in this order. So if you want to have the landing before holding, you just drag and drop it up like this. Right? That's how you do that, to organize the order in which you want these measured items to be shown on the grade sheet. Then we click on OK. And now this is done. Let's go now and schedule such a class. Create a new request in Kiel, recurrent A320, and let's say we start that one on the 1st of April. That's all we need, I think, and we will schedule that. Create project. All 14 slots were filled. So these are our resources that are used here. Right? And in our simulator session, we can see that the flight instructor is Mike McGowan, and he has to grade the students. What the missing piece here is that we don't have students assigned because they were not automatically assigned. So we will select also 2 students. Just for this example, just have 2 students. Let's say Captain 5 and Captain 6. Captain 5 is the captain in this case, and Captain 5 is the first officer. Okay. We now are nearly ready. The only thing that we have to do is we have to make this planning complete. Let's say everything after the 9th of April is planning complete. And now this is ready in the web browser for grading. So if Mike McGowan goes into his web page, he will see this grade sheet. I will show you this on the iPad. So here now we are on the iPad on our internet page, and I log in as the instructor. And we select the sign-off page, and you can see that we have here our Captain 5 and Captain 6. So let's select both of them and select sign-off. And this is what we expected. So we have first Captain 5, and then we have Captain 6. And for each student, the iterator iterates over all our measured items: perform takeoff, landing, and perform holding. I hope this shows you that this gives you more flexibility, and you don't have to create now new grade sheets whenever you have a different set of record items. Just take one grade sheet template and use this dynamic feature. In the next video, I want to talk a little bit about the select record items property, this button that you see here, because that's also a new feature related to the dynamic grade sheets. Thank you.